Sports Snippets. Dennis Sullivan. What the heck is going on, guys? Miami Dolphins cruise to a 39-17 victory Sunday afternoon over the Cleveland Browns. Before I get started, you do like the content, this particular video, you know what to do. Go ahead and hit that thumbs up. Feel free to subscribe as well to my channel. That would be awesome. This was a game where the Miami Dolphins pretty much moving the ball at will throughout the game, not just in the air this time. No. This was also a big ground attack led by Jeff Wilson's 119 yards and a touchdown, along with Raheem Mostert's 65 yards and another rushing touchdown. Salvin Ahmed contributed with 11 yards on the ground. And the Dolphins run the football for almost 200 yards. This was a game where Tyreek Hill was actually held under 100 yards. I know that sounds crazy. It was a nice balanced attack at the wide receiver position. And then again, as I just mentioned, the Dolphins were running the football pretty well throughout this game. Tua looks sharp again, 25 for 32, 285 yards. 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. Skylar Thompson even got into the act a little bit. He came in later in the game. The game already decided. He completed his only pass for 17 yards. So the Dolphins technically now in first place by a half game in the AFC East at 7-3. The Buffalo Bills, New York Jets are at 6-3. Dolphins on a bye next week, so we'll see how both the Jets and Bills fare in their games next week. That was an incredible game. I saw the end of it. The Minnesota Vikings, now this game has just ended right before I made this video, have defeated the Bills today, 33-30 in overtime. So, and that was an incredible game, and I was almost tempted to do a video on that game. that was how good that game was. But the Dolphins, this is one of those games, they're just a little bit more talented than the opponent. When you look at the Cleveland Browns, I mean, they played amazing, really, against the Bengals just, I think it was like 10 days ago, something like that, on Thursday Night Football, I believe it was, and they, blew out the Bengals. But set back to reality a little bit in today's game, they now fall to 3-6 on the season. Jacoby Brissett, former Dolphin, would complete 22 of 35 passes for 212 yards and a touchdown. And he would also run for an additional 40 yards, would Jacoby Brissett. I tell you what, Nick Chubb is a heck of a running back. He looked really good again today. 11 carries, 63 yards, and a touchdown. The Browns early on, I mean, it looked like they were going to really put up a good fight against the Dolphins. It really did, because they moved the ball right down the field. Donovan Peoples-Jones was making his presence known early, and then he drew that pass interference in the end zone, setting up the Browns' early touchdown to go up 7-0. Peoples-Jones would finish with 99 yards on 5 catches. Amari Cooper added 3 catches for 32 yards. David Bell, three catches for Amari Cooper, and David Bell with also 3 catches. He had 24 yards. Chubb, 3 catches, 18 yards out of the backfield. Harrison Bryant had a touchdown reception and 15 yards on 3 catches. Pharaoh Brown added 2 catches for 13 yards. Kareem Hunt out of the backfield, a 10-yard reception. Anthony Schwartz 1 for 3. And D'Ernest Johnson added a catch for -2 yards. So the Browns, I mean, definitely a difficult season for them thus far. I mean, it's been a tough year for the Cleveland Browns. Jacoby Brissett, I mean, he looks pretty good out there. Here's the thing, though, and a big part of this game was the fact that the Dolphins put continuous pressure on Jacoby Brissett, and on the Browns' passing game would suffer because of that. A little bit surprised that the Browns never really figured out how to counter the blitzes, whether it be with some nice screen passes. I mean, They did a little bit of that. I mean, underneath and that type of thing. But it was clear that the Dolphins were going to bring numerous players blitzing, defensive players blitzing. And the Browns really could not solve that. They could not solve that. And I think that was a big part of the outcome of this game. Jalen Waddle would lead the Dolphin receivers with 4 catches and 66 yards. Definitely a nice balanced attack in the receiving group there for the Dolphins today. In Sunday's game, I should say, Week 10, Trent Sherfield had his best game as a Dolphin, 4 catches, 65 yards, and a touchdown. Alec Ingold was definitely a factor, 4 catches, 45 yards, and a touchdown. Tyreek Hill had 5 catches, 44 yards, and a touchdown. Still having an amazing season is Tyreek Hill. Mike Gesicki had a 2 for 31. Wilson 2 for 24 out of the backfield. Mostert out of the backfield 4 for 22. So you look at both Wilson and Mostert, I mean, they combined for almost 50 yards receiving. Cedric Wilson, a catch for 7 yards. So where does that leave the Dolphins? On a well-deserved bye week. They will now go into the bye week, and when they come out of that bye week, that will be week 12, and at the worst-case scenario, they will be tied for first place. You have to like what you're seeing from the Dolphins. I do get a little concerned when I see certain things defensively. I mean, we know the Dolphins are still going to have to get a little bit better defensively. I don't think that's any secret. And this whole passing up the field goals of 30-some-odd yards happened again, where I didn't like the decision at all. Dolphins already had a nice, comfortable lead. They went on 4th and 1, passing up about a 33-yard field goal. They did not make it. We saw that in the Steeler game. We saw them pass up what would appear to be a pretty high percentage, 30-some-odd yard field goal attempt. We saw the same thing last week against the Bears. I know, there was a little bit of wind, but no, I don't think so. They should have kicked the field goal. I mean, if you kick an extra point from 35 or 38 yards, you should be able to at least make a decent attempt at kicking a field goal in that game. And also today we saw the same thing. 4th and 1, they pass up what would be almost a chip shot field goal. So will this ever come back to haunt the Dolphins? I certainly hope it doesn't, but we'll have to just wait and see. Dolphins are 7-3, still 7 more games left, plenty of football this season left. Now with the 17-game schedule, which I must be honest, I am still definitely getting used to. That, in my opinion, they should have just kept it at 16. What was so bad about 16 games? I think it was better. You have 8 home, 8 away. Now it's like crazy. You're going to have 9 of either home or away and 8 of home and away. It's just, they should have left it at 16 in my very humble opinion. So let me know what you think. Dolphins look sharp, not turning the ball over, moving the ball up and down the field. We'll have to see how everything plays out as we get into the home stretch here, last 7 games of the season. Let me know what you think. I'll talk to you soon, and bye for now.